I can't allow someone like you to wear it.
Hey, what's up? And welcome to another episode of the Nerd Hour podcast. How are you guys? And Greg, how are you? Yeah.
I just blew out my ears with like a random noise off of my desktop.
So you're a little bit deaf. Just a little
I'm a
bit.
little bit deaf. It caught me off guard because I needed a tab because of something I saw I wanted to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
and I hit Control Shift T, which will open up a previous tab. That tab happened to be YouTube on full blast. But how we doing, people? Welcome to the Nerd Hour podcast. Hi.
Yes, that's it. I was watching while I was waiting on you. I was sitting up here watching YouTube. Okay, this goes back to me being on the fast and being, sort of vegan for this month. But I just
Yeah.
been sitting up here watching binging with Babish, and he's been if you don't know his YouTube is basically him cooking stuff from TV or movies. So
Okay.
previously I had because I had the chance to watch two videos. uh the the first one was him cooking shawarma from the first Avengers movie, where Tony Stark was like, there's a shawarma place like down the block from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it. And so he cooked shawarma. And then this one
Okay.
he's doing like different ways to cook shrimp from like the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company from the movie Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
So he's doing shrimp right now, and I was watching that, and I was like, bro.
No, shrimp is dope. Shrimp
I'm-
is dope. You know, something that somebody threw at me one day,
but
and I realized how much of a goddamn hypocrite I was. I'm all like, man, I can't be doing that crab stuff, bro. They're like bottom feeders. I can't be. Crabs are disgusting. They're bottom feeders. You know what I mean?
wow.
Like, so are shrimp. And I sat there, I'm like, I fucking love shrimp though.
Is shrimp? I think shrimp is a is like on a scale of bottom feeders, or like at the very bottom.
I know.
They like eat
I never
anything.
realized
Like
it.
crabs do too, but like they eat anything.
But I didn't realize how much of a hypocrite I was until I like saw that. Because the minute I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure shrimps, because they're smaller. They gotta eat even
Yeah,
like
they can eat.
even smaller. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, they'll
at the
eat dead
bottom of
skin
the
that
ocean.
start floating down. Like,
Oh my god! I was like, oh, I'm such a hypocrite.
hey, if I hear that, I'm like, hey, more crab for the rest of us. I mean, you don't get to try it. Crab tastes way better than
I
shrimp
think
too.
I think it's I might have like some mild like phobia with crabs, with the
Mhm.
pinchers and like cracking them open to eat. It feels off putting to me.
Like
I don't think it's
barbaric.
necessary to take. Not barbaric. It just feels off putting. The crunch, you know what I mean? It feels like
Well,
there's a
it's the same.
turtle that's still alive and I'm cracking into its shell and trying to get at it.
But in this case,
You know,
it's dead. It's like if
I
you,
know it's dead. Yeah.
but it's like the same reason why you should probably feel the same when it comes to shrimp, because you're ripping off, like, if it has the legs still on, you're ripping off his legs and peeling the skin off of his back.
Yeah, but it's weird. 'Cause I think it's the crunching that does it for
Uh,
me with the crab. You know what I mean? Because I gotta like work through its defensive mechanisms, which is its hard shell, and then like crack in, and then like here's the goods kind of
I
thing.
think that's
You
like,
know, because I still think of like shrimp kind of like chicken in a way. You know what I mean? It's not really all that much. I mean, I'll bite through it, eat all the good gushy stuff, and whatever is left is considered kind of like the bone with the little tail piece.
th- then you might feel differently
Yeah.
if you saw it with the head. Then,
Hmm.
yeah.
I definitely probably would. I don't know, man. You see how squeamish I was just trying to put a worm on a fishing hook right now. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I'm just really squirmish around animals or like even like dead
that
ones.
was funny because I was like, It's like worms don't feel pain, and then the moment you poked it, it started wiggling around. I was like, or they might do. I don't know.
Trying to make me feel better and telling me that this worm doesn't feel pain, and this thing like was fighting for its life after I poked it. I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. He's like, oh, they might. God damn it.
Because I think it's
Oh
like the
God.
reason why people go vegan in the first place, because they have like, they have feelings towards animals, and I have feelings towards
Mhm.
animals too. Like I don't want them to suffer, so I want like a quick death. But that is like my feelings is not going to stop me from eating it. Like so,
Yeah.
if it's the only reason why I don't like crab as much as some people do is it's just so much work trying to just get some meat and it be
Yeah.
like a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
You got a
but that does
point.
like if I did get some crab, I'll
Yeah.
I'll
Here's the
do
thing.
whatever I have to do. But still,
If I was locked up in a room, I had everything in there to like rig me up some way to kind of cook the crabs and eat the crabs while I was in a room. I would don't expect them to be the best crabs. I would boil them alive, honestly, because I don't want to get pinched. I hate crabs for
oh,
that. But I would do what I gotta do to eat the crabs. You know what I
okay,
mean? They're not the kind of animal that I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm not eating that in like a dire situation. It's very off-putting and weird for me to be cracking into their skull, their shells to eat them. But my train of thought was going somewhere and it got lost. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say with crabs. But there's animals like like rats, roaches. You know what I mean? If a cicada am I saying that
C-
right? Flies.
yeah, the cicada.
Yeah, cicada. If it flies like near my mouth, I'm not just gonna stick my tongue out and eat it and be like, yeah, But, yeah, that's how I feel about crabs.
All right, so
Such weird animals.
here's like this is just a quick Google search. I'm not even going to go down the rabbit hole of which one's true or not. But I found
Mm.
this thing about worms. One is by sciencebuddies.org, which could be credible and could not be.
Oh
And
God.
the other article is by New York Times, which is same thing here or there. But
Yeah.
the one by Science Buddy says worms squirming on a fish hook feel no pain. And then the
Are
one by
you
New York
serious?
Times say they do. So I wasn't technically wrong when I said they don't feel no pain, or maybe they do. I don't know.
This is ridiculous, man. It's it's too much, man. I'll be honest. It's just too much. I don't
That
like freaking
yeah.
penning live animals.
I mean, when I go
So,
when I go fishing anyway,
yeah.
I fish with bread now because one, I
Okay.
don't like to get messy from worms, and you have to
Worm guts.
worm guts, and you have to like wipe it on your pants and stuff. I just fish for bread.
Yeah.
So much cleaner, and fish love to eat bread.
I mean, doesn't the bread kind of like get soggy and fall off the hook?
You got to know how to put it on the hook. Country bumpkin over here
Uh,
knows how to put it on the hook.
okay. Okay. My bad. My
It
bad.
also depends on what kind of bread you get as well.
True. So if you get like Wonder White bread, it's
I
not gonna
never
work.
use it. The one thing I know not to do is pay
Mm.
good money for some good bread. I just go
Oh
I just go get
yeah.
a dollar loaf from
I
somewhere, and
don't
I'm like,
know.
or like cheaper.
I don't, I don't know, man. What if you're trying to catch like the bougiest of fishes?
You won't you
You
won't
might
catch a
need the
bougie fish
expensive
unless
loaves.
you're fishing with fish.
Okay, you got a point.
Like I'm not finna catch a bass unless there's a smaller fish on my hook.
Okay,
I'm just
okay,
catching a
okay.
little small little sunfish. That's all. A
Bass
little.
tastes so good.
I think I
It
had
tastes so good.
some like 2 months ago, and I hadn't had it before. And I was the one thing I noticed, and it's
Mm.
like took me so long to notice this. I don't like freshwater fish as much as I like seawater fish.
Really? I
Yeah,
can't tell. I honestly can't tell
I
because
can
I
tell.
didn't I
It's like,
didn't mess with fish so much. You know what I
hmm
mean? Because I like fish, But like, I feel like the reason that you don't like crabs is why I don't like fish because of the bones. Hearing
Yeah.
stories that my uncle would tell me as a kid kind of like got me like, fish
Oh
tastes
yeah.
good, but all the fish bones, I would hate to get one stuck in
I
my throat
hate
sideways.
like, and this is why like when I go get a fish, like catch a fish,
Yeah.
and we're taking it home, I want to fillet mine. I don't want to,
Yeah,
like
filleting is
most,
dope. Yeah.
like what most people do is just fry the whole fish or something
Yeah.
like that, and then you have to pick around the bones. It's just too much work. I'd rather just fillet it. I
It
don't care
feels
if I
like
lose.
it feels like I have to do surgery before I have to like finally get to eating it. And I feel like if I
Yeah.
screw this up, I'm dead. That's what it
But
feels like.
I forgot what was the saltwater fish that I had, but the freshwater fish that I had was one was bass and the other one was a sunfish. I think
Mhm.
the saltwater fish might have been like a perch or like some, yeah, it might have been perch or something like that. But
Okay, okay, okay.
saltwater fish tastes so much cleaner than freshwater fish. It's just I hate.
Freshwater fish tastes dirty?
Yeah, you could taste like the murkiness, like that fishy taste that you get when you eat freshwater fish is only very apparent in freshwater fish.
Are you serious?
Like if you have like a saltwater fish, it's not that apparent, but that fishy taste is very apparent in freshwater fish.
I wonder why. Does the salt like take the edge off?
I I think so in some cases, and then the
Or
environment is a lot cleaner.
okay, I'm starting to think maybe the salt has to do with like less bacteria and stuff being able to be
Yeah,
in the
probably.
water or something.
Yeah, because like
That's weird.
freshwater, like bodies of freshwater is like notorious for being dirty. It's just like crap just
It-
dropping in it all the time. People that are going out fishing throw their crap in there, and it's like, oh, come on now.
it's funny because it says fresh water. You would think it'd be the opposite. Fresh water. You know
It's
what I
like,
mean? When
I
I hear
want
that,
fresh
I feel
fish. I
like
want fresh
the
water.
fish are swimming. Right, right, right. I feel like the fish would be swimming and like there's a waterfall, like you would purify the aquafina, and then they're like, there's a puddle down below, and that's where all the fish are swimming. It's
No.
fresh water. But that's
If only. If only.
maybe it's
Man.
because at the sea is a lot bigger and it's a lot
Hmm.
wider. Everything's not as concentrated as it would be with fresh water because I'm guessing
Hmm.
fresh water is more secluded and by itself.
Yeah.
So it like
Like
it's
lakes
gonna be
and
extra potent with
stuff.
the trash that's gonna be in it
Yeah.
as opposed to the sea where it all drifts and it's so big that it's
Yeah.
kind of spread out and stuff like that.
I'm like,
That's crazy. It's never something I thought about.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that I just noticed because I said, man, I like saltwater fish more than I like freshwater fish. It's just
Yeah,
freshwater fish tastes more fishy. I don't get it.
I want, but if it doesn't matter if you fry it.
Sometimes, like if you get like a sunfish with and you cook it with the skin on, that's bitch
Yeah.
still fishy. Like the moment
Oh.
the closer you get to the skin, like yeah, the closer you get to the skin, it just becomes fishy.
Oh God. Is this fish BO? Is that
I
what
mean,
that is?
no, it's just the fish oil. You know the omega-3 fatty acid crap. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Shows what I know. I know absolutely goddamn nothing. Fish BO.
Fish meal. Nah, it's just the omega-3s and the fish. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh God.
mm,
There was some breaking news that came in
yeah,
this morning.
yeah, I saw.
Well, not this morning. It was actually today, and
Hmm.
it kind of surprised me. Kobe is gone, and
Yeah.
I think his daughter with him too.
Oh, his daughter was on the helicopter?
I don't want to confirm,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
think one of his daughters are on there with him,
It
and
says
then
Kobe
they're playing
Bryant
plane
daughter
crash.
Gianna die in helicopter crash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's terrible to be honest with you when I think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
even if I don't have to think about it to really realize how terrible that is, man. It's crazy. You
Yeah.
just living your life like you normally do, rich as hell,
Hmm.
riding your helicopter to McDonald's and it crashes
I was just
or
right
something like
before that
that.
we started. As I was just thinking, I was like, imagine just going out, like you said, minding
Mm,
your own business. We're gonna do this helicopter ride. We're gonna see. I don't know where this was, but like we're gonna see all of
yeah,
LA, and then you just didn't wake up thinking you were gonna die.
right. Right,
That's
right, right. It's crazy. It's just not something you expected. I
hmm
feel like the whole helicopter it makes it worse because I feel like that might be a commuting way for them. Like a normal commuting way. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I gotta
um,
go I gotta go across LA or something like that. And he is
right,
this let's take the helicopter to be quicker. I always take the helicopter. He gets used and comfortable to it. Helicopter's safe. You know what I mean? And then they take it. And this one time, it wasn't safe. It's like
right.
your car, like just all of a sudden imploding on you. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it's and that's what really makes that scary. I mean, going off on a one-off kind of trip a year where you're like, yeah, let's take that helicopter. You know what I mean? For the first time ever, and then dying, it's kind of like, wow. You know what I mean? But if it's like a daily thing, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? If something you do frequently, that's the scary part, man. It kind of just
So,
like when my roommate told me that, like, I'm like, it's crazy, man. It goes to show how little time we actually have. I mean, we got a life expectancy, but there's no guarantee we're going to make it through that one. To be
right.
honest with you, we might get called in early. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Can I
Yeah,
complain about something real quick?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like these people really trying to get their word count in on some articles. And
Oh,
like I'm trying to like find out like what might have led to the crash. It
yeah,
looks like low visibility might have caused it or something like that. And I'm
yeah.
reading the next paragraph, and it's like the smooth shooting guard who patterned his game after Michael Jordan entered the NBA straight out of high school. I'm like, I don't care.
This has nothing to do with the actual. It's crazy. But here's the thing: it's either one, we're part of the generation whose attention span is just not that long anymore, and we just can't be bothered to read all this, or it's two, the people who wrote it are part of the generation who were like had to write an essay, but they remember they had to pad it in the
it,
beginning.
it's just these people that like, okay, the first two paragraphs got the
Yeah.
story out. How can we keep them reading on our website longer? Pad the article with
Oh my
nonsense
god.
information that somebody could.
That's That's more like for somebody like me, that's more likely to make me leave the web page like beforehand or be skim the fuck out of the article
Oh,
because
that's what I
that's
always do now. I just skim crap and then I'm like, okay, get my information and I leave.
yeah, because it's getting to the point where like sometimes I'm like I want to appreciate something that's really well written because I feel like I have the ability to appreciate well written things because I
Hmm.
can I get this feeling in my gut when I watch something and I'm all like, this was really well written. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
really like the way this was. And then I'll go online and be like, everybody's was so well written. The channels I like to follow, that like this anime was so well written. I'm like, I agree. You know what I mean?
It's like,
So I
yep.
can appreciate a well written article, but when you can, I think most readers, they can tell when it's being bullshit padding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they've had that feeling before when they had to pad the crap out of an essay, or they just they know.
Speaking of anime, real quick,
Yeah.
I just saw that time I got reincarnated as a slime is getting a season two.
Oh, word. It
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me. It ended. I didn't like the way it ended,
I didn't like
but
the way it ended either. And then I
oh
found
yeah,
out the way it ended was setting up like some really cool stuff, and I'm like, and it just ends. Like
right.
every time before, like every episode was like, okay, that was a cool thing, that was a cool thing, but it was all like goofy. Like
Yeah, just
the whole season was just
failure.
goofy, like goofy
Yeah,
filler,
yeah, yeah,
and then it
yeah,
gets
yeah.
good, and then you end it.
Right. It's like we got to give them a hook. We got to leave them on a hook, and they just leave
Make
us on
them read
that.
the manga. I'm like, I'm not gonna read the
Yeah.
manga. The only manga
Look,
I'm about to read is Dragon Ball Super because I'm not fully sure we're going to get
waiting.
another
Okay,
season out of
okay, okay.
Super.
I feel like we will.
I
You know what I
hope
mean?
so.
Maybe
Like,
at least maybe
I
one
don't
more.
like
You know.
Toriyama. I think yeah, it is Toriyama, right? Yeah, Toriyama is like, I don't want to do this all my life. So he's like went back away from it, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so he's like, I have no plans for another
Oh
series, another
damn.
season or something like that as of
Oh,
now. But I'm like,
I can understand. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? We'll be on our deathbeds, and
my
you know,
thing
if he's
is, you
still
can't
alive,
just
he's
like,
gonna be like, I wrote all this
yeah.
towards the end. You know what I mean?
Oh,
On his deathbed, he's gonna be like, pull this out one last time for the boys. One
I
last ride with the
I
boys.
did read something else. Bleach is going to get a new season.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's
they're going to
crazy.
bring Bleach back.
You know, I
To
was gonna be
finish off.
fine if Bleach never came back on Tsunami, but I was just really, really, really hoping that like some outside studio went ahead and did Bleach. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it wasn't like subpar though. Because when I say outside studio, it's almost like, you know what I mean? Yeah, we got Bleach back, but it looks like some of the trash anime. You know what I mean? The animation looks nothing the same anymore.
Hopefully, if anything, I would love it to look like what Super Broly looked like. Super Broly's
Super
animation was
Broly.
pretty good.
It was pretty sick. It was
But
pretty sick.
yeah, it says
Yeah. Well,
expect a
so
season.
you would want some like 3D integrated into Bleach, because I'm thinking about
Not
it now. That
really.
sounds kind of interesting.
Not really. I didn't like the 3D integrated into the Broly Super movie, but I liked the 2D
Ah,
animation of the Broly Super movie, but I didn't like the 3D animation of it.
yeah, yeah. You like the actual animation of the fight scene, but you didn't like the 3D part,
Like they only
right?
did like a few 3D parts in there. Like when was it Gogeta did
Yeah.
a Super Bang Kamehameha that
Mm-mm.
was in 3D. There was like a little bit of other stuff that was in 3D, but I didn't like those. Everything
It's not
else,
seamless.
yeah, it's not. When you go from 2D to 3D, I'm like, unless the whole thing was in 3D, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when it
That's what
goes
I'm
from 2D
thinking.
to
Yeah,
3D, I don't like.
it's a little jarring. I feel like animes like Demon Slayer did a little bit better with the transitions between the two, but it's still jarring. You know what I mean? There's like with Demon Slayer, there's still those split seconds. So I'm like, oh, they switched to 3D. I
I have issues
see.
with Demon
Yeah.
Slayer and now My Hero.
Oh, word. Is it because you're reading a manga?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I only read like a chapter of the My Hero manga, and then I had to leave
Mhm.
because of XYZ. But what I'm
I
having
bet.
issues with is, you know how in My Hero Midoriya gets that little green lightning thing when he activates All for
Mhm.
One, and
Yeah.
then Demon Slayer, whatever breath style you use, you see like the water or the fire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's just to show us that it's doing it. Like they don't actually have that going on.
Oh, yeah.
So if we were like in that realm, like in the Demon Slayer, all we're looking
We
at
wouldn't
is
see
a sword going through a demon. We're not seeing water.
it.
I was so
it's
mad about
it's
that.
their job. It's their job to make it interesting. You know what I
I was
mean?
so mad. Why can't I like regardless if it was just to make it interesting? Why can't it just be like they just have those that like for Demon Slayer? Why can't
Oh
it
yeah.
be like actual water or actual fire? I don't need to see like because I would have liked it either way.
Out
It
of
was
what?
like
That's so unrealistic. Like, where's the water and the fire coming from, Don? A
Dragon.
pocket dimension.
Shut your ass up. Because like Dororo was, I like Dororo because it was
Mhm.
just him cutting people up. He didn't
Yeah.
have fire coming out of his crap, right? So
Yeah.
if
I
they
don't know.
if they either
Maybe it's
did
the
it
style.
hey, I wouldn't have been so upset if they actually had like some type of firepower, or they
Yeah,
just decided to do like cool blade techniques. That's
yeah,
cool. But to show
yeah,
us water and flames and flower like butterflies and shit, and then that's not
yeah.
real, and
It's
then tell
all.
us, oh, that stuff's not real. We just do that so y'all can see it happening. I'm like, what?
Oh my
Why?
god.
Why are
Because
y'all rude?
I can imagine the most boring one would be Zenitsu with his ability
Oh, his
to
lightning
like.
style.
Yeah, that would be the most boring one. Like you look at him, he'd disappear. He'd be standing behind the guy with his sword, and he'd be putting it back in. It'd be like
Yeah.
he's done. you know.
Like,
So yeah,
but
I get what you mean. Though it is
we've
kind of
seen
frustrating.
them animate good sword fights without like elemental
Mm.
powers,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So
I feel like the
they can
amount of
animate
Sakura.
somebody
So
like Zoro from One Piece moving extremely fast,
yeah, yeah,
and he could be like lightning breath, and then shoom, shoom, and we like see him go fast, and then
yeah.
and we'd be like, oh, yo, that's cool.
Right, right, right.
I'm
Um,
still a little bit ticked off that Midoriya doesn't actually have green lightning covering his body. He just
wait. Are you wait? Hold up. What?
you know how
In a world
Midoriya
of quirks, I know, but in a world of quirks, are you trying to tell me that orange-ish kind of scar that forms on his face when he activates that doesn't exist either?
that doesn't exist. That's just to show us he's activating it.
Oh my god,
That's what
I'm
I'm
done.
saying. None of it exists. Midoriya, if we were in that universe when Midoriya activates his quirk,
Yeah, yeah.
we would just see normal Midoriya. It was the
Where did
same
you get this
reason why,
piece of information?
and
I don't want to believe it's
well,
canon.
it's the
You
same
know what?
reason. It's coming from the author, but it's the same reason why when All Might
Hmm.
activated his All Might didn't look any different, other than like he went from skinny to big. But that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
from but that
The injury. That makes sense, right?
that was from his injury. But when I guess in the past when he was always big, he just
Hmm.
looked normal. He didn't have like scars and
Or
orange tint of
lightning
his
going around.
skin.
Midoriya is fucking himself up. God.
I
He
was
just
so
says scars. I'm
mad.
like, man, this man's got a new scar every season. He looks even more fucked up than the last. Like this man's gonna have he's this young. I'm like, this man's gonna his body is gonna be battle scarred by the time he's like
Right.
All Might's age or something like that. But yeah, I definitely see what you mean. I'm kind of upset about it, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do one of those tricks where I get hard headed. I'm like, I don't want to believe that. I'm gonna believe what I want.
I'm gonna believe that it's real. It's all real. The water
It's all real.
techniques, water breathing, Midoriya with his lightning. That's cool.
So long as they don't mention it within the animes, or like, did
No,
you
they
see
won't.
that water, bro? Right.
They don't mention it. I was reading an article where the I think the creator said, "Oh yeah, no, that's not real."
Oh yeah.
Because I think a
I'd be like,
fan asked him when Midoriya activates All for One, he has like his full cowling has like lightning, like green lightning and stuff. How
hmm
come All Might never had something like that? Oh, it's because it's just to show y'all that he activated it.
uh,
Because otherwise
All
he would
Might
just
has it
look
on all the
normal.
time. Right, right. Oh my god.
I was like, this is
I'm
bullshit.
pissed. I'm pissed. I'm actually annoyed.
You know what annoyed me?
Uh, what?
And this ain't got nothing to do with anything. But what annoyed me the most, especially as a kid,
Hmm.
um, is when you're like, Superman is stronger than Goku. It's like, no, he's not. Superman got this, this, that, and then you try to create a superhero that's stronger than the both of them, and then you just add crap to that superhero, and then it's like, what's the
Yeah.
point? It's like a kid that it's like a crit, which I think a kid actually did. It's like a kid created One Punch Man. It's
Right.
like nobody could defeat One Punch Man. He punches, and it's over.
Period.
And I'm like, that's
End of
bull.
story. He punches.
That's bull. It's
Just put
like
period. Okay.
I remember I was like, well, my superhero got all the powers of Superman, the intelligence of Batman. He could web swing like Spider-Man. He got regenerative powers like Wolverine. I'm like,
Look, just from a standpoint to see how like overpowered you can make a character. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you can have a little bit of fun with it. When it comes to writing that character into a story that isn't bullshit, that's when the trouble comes up. You know, that's the part that I find that's kind of like, yeah, you can make him as overpowered as you want. You could, but when it comes to writing him into a story, it's like being on the playground. You guys are role playing. They're like, yeah, I got heat vision. Yeah, I'm
but that,
impervious and I can regenerate. Yeah, I'm like, damn, bro, what are your weaknesses? How are we supposed to win?
but do
It's like you can't. That's the point.
Did you like that kind of stuff?
I was always a reclusive kid, so I think I played it few in between. But I don't think I was like too much into it, But because I don't know, I don't know. I wasn't necessarily a social kid. Even as now, I'm not like extremely social myself. You know what I mean? So I don't think I played a lot.
So, like if would you like it if like how if before we got like Super Saiyan God and stuff, would you like it if uh everything Goku was able to accomplish, Vegeta just like took as well, and then or no, not even like Vegeta, but Vegeta learned something, Gohan learned something, Krillin learned something, and Goku was like, "I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna take your stuff, and I'm gonna be badass." Would you like that?
No, I would not. You know what I mean? But you gotta talk about, like, you talking about Kid Greg, or you talking about like
I'm talking
adult
about right now.
right now? Hell no,
I don't care
man.
what Kid Greg would have liked, because obviously
Kid
I
Greg would
was
have loved it. I would
me
have
as a
lapped
kid.
that
I would
shit
have
up.
been me as a kid. I would have been like, "Oh yeah, Batman, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Superman, everybody, Black Lightning, Static
but
Shock."
the fun part from that, right? It was what I was trying to say. The fun part would be when you're crafting your ultimate character here that nobody can defeat, right?
hmm
And the fun part for me would be like deciding which characteristics from Superman and which characteristics from Spider-Man, like the character would get. You'd be like, okay, um, he's got characteristics from Spider-Man and Superman. So how does he travel? Does he fly or does he swing?
Does it matter? What does it matter? He
It
could do
does,
whatever
because
he want. He could do whatever he want.
it does, because when you pack too much shit into one character, it gets to the point where the guy's like, you know what I mean? I could swing, but why would I swing? Because I could fly. And flying's way more efficient than
Hey,
swinging.
he could do
You know what I mean?
whatever he
It's
want,
gonna
right? It's some bullshit, but he could do whatever he wants.
you know what I mean? So like
It's
it
like I
starts
could
to
fly
break the
like
story.
Batman, or I could fly like Superman. I could swing like Spider-Man, or I could build me a plane like Batman.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god. Here's the thing though, like coherently, we're
or
like
I could jump
we
around
try
like
to
the
take.
Hulk. What you want?
Oh my god. Coherently, we tend to take like the lazy way out, right? You know what I mean?
hmm
I can't say lazy, but like we make things easier for ourselves as human beings. You know what I mean? We found fire, we created the wheel, we got all these computers and technology. We're trying to make things efficient so we can bullshit more. You know?
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen is he's gonna be like, I can do all this shit. But you know what I'm gonna do all the time though? The most efficient one. Flying.
Right.
So he's gonna have a shit ton of skills and powers that he just never uses, because he's gonna have some base ones that are just like, this handles all the situations.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. It's like, why use super strength when my heat vision can just melt things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it, and I hope I will never see it.
I don't want to see it in any like actual final product. You know, One Punch Man is funny the way they did it, so I'm okay with that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to see even One Punch Man. He doesn't have like a shit ton of like powers packed into one guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's
He's
just
super
got
fast
one
and
that's like
strong.
absurdly insane. It's like, yeah, he's like superhuman. You know what I mean? But it's just, he's not gonna be shooting lasers. I hope not. Out of his eyes. You get what I mean? So it's the idea of crafting a hero and then selecting specific strongest quirks from each other hero that you like as you're growing up is kind of fun. It's something you do at your home with your little notepad and do that at home, right? It coming out into an actual series, I'm like, yo, this writer better be fucking godly to be able to put this in and not be like, this is bullshit.
Was it? I just I've been watching a lot of like Dragon Ball Z stuff over.
Yeah.
Because I like Super a lot and I wanted to go back and watch Dragon Ball Z stuff. And I was just watching like how Gohan was so cool and everything.
Yeah.
And then they had to bring Goku back and make Gohan a little bitch.
No, you know what it was? It's called fatherhood. We get whack when we become fathers, so just don't make kids.
Nah, he was whack before that. What you mean? He didn't even have a kid before Super, and he was whack.
Oh yeah. Just don't get married, people. Or just don't get a girlfriend. Like the longer you stay a virgin and not get a girlfriend, the cooler.
Just don't even go to school. Gohan went to school and went downhill, man. As soon as he started going to school,
he was studying. He was studying, and he's got whack, bro. Because obviously you can't study and work out at the same time.
I was reading a thing, and it was like an interview with Toriyama, and they were asking why Vegeta is always one step behind Goku.
Yeah.
And then Toriyama just straight up, I don't like Vegeta. Like if it was up to me, Vegeta would have died after the Saiyan saga.
What?
I was like, you kidding me? I was like, this is a I said, Vegeta's cool. Why can't he get anything? I was hoping Vegeta got Ultra Instinct too.
That's the crazy part, because that doesn't that kind of like, I remember as a kid I would draw like my own little characters, right? I would spend all the time making a hero look cool and giving them all the nice things, you know what I mean? And you'd look to the left and there's just a blob for the bad guy. This feels like that. You know what I mean? Or any companions that my hero just had like blank faces. They were slightly better than just the blob that I put over on the left for the back. Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's funny that just followed him into adulthood.
It was.
I don't like him.
No, it was like straight up. He's like, I honestly do not like Vegeta. If it was up to me, he would have died already. And then,
oh my god,
he said the only reason why he survived for this long is because an editor didn't like where Toriyama was going with the story, and he's like, if it like the same thing with Cell, like or with the Android saga, there was not going to be a Cell, because like Toriyama was just going to do something with 17 and 18, and then was it the editor didn't like how plain looking the androids were, so he made Toriyama created Cell. And that's why Cell didn't show up until later in that saga, and why the other androids got put to the side and like was like a side story that we forgot.
What's it like? The female one's 18, male one is 17, and which one is there? Another one? 16?
16 is the big one with the mohawk. Yeah.
Me personally I think Android 18 does not look plain.
That's because you like women, but that's cool.
True, but I also think Android 17 looks pretty damn dope too. He looks like a.
The reason why he didn't like it was because they were just, in
Human.
they were just too human in a world where they fighting aliens and then they have dog people for presidents. I guess the
Okay.
editor wanted to see something else, so
Wow. Much wow.
I mean, good job for the editor because we wouldn't have had like Cell versus Gohan.
True. Gohan was such a badass back then, man.
Yeah.
Did he? I think I remember him doing like a slow motion walk away as there was a huge explosion behind him, and then now adult Gohan. I'm like, what happened?
Right.
You know what I mean? Walking around as Saiyan Man, and I was like, oh, I'm done. It's like what Kardashian vagina did to Kanye. Vidal vagina.
Did you see that
just
Kanye
ruined
is
Goku.
legit? Like before, I thought it was like he had gave up on it, but he's
Yeah.
legit going to run for president for 2024.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that. You know
All
what I
I'm
mean?
saying,
First by
I
president.
don't need somebody like this. No, like because I'm pretty sure I'm not clinically depressed, but I'm pretty sure I have depression and
right.
like really bad anxiety. But
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
God.
need somebody like that as president.
Bruh, I don't. You know what?
Kanye
You know
been
what?
going through some
I'll bite the
stuff.
bullet.
Nah,
I'll bite the bullet. I'll bite the bullet. You know what I mean?
don't even bite.
If it
People
happened,
that don't have any type of prerequisite training in anything should not be going for that crap. And I say that because we got
I
a
agree.
dummy in there as of right now. But
I agree. But Kanye being president just led to something that's more atrocious. That's more of the devil that I wouldn't want to happen. I do not want Kim Kardashian as our first lady.
I don't even care about her being a first lady. I just don't want. I don't want Kanye because first ladies don't have like a say in anything really. Like they do their little charity stuff on the side. They do what they gotta do, start fundraisers or whatever. But they don't make laws, and that's all I don't want. I don't want Kanye to make any type of law.
I just want to keep Ratchet out of the White House in general. You know what I mean? I want a nicely trimmed, you know what I mean, trained in high college and studied political studies.
I think Ratchet is a far cry from Kim, and I don't like Kim. But I don't think Ratchet describes her. I think
not now.
I think
Not
rich
now.
and spoiled describes her. But like,
well, maybe I used the wrong word. Maybe I should have used bougie.
maybe bougie.
Maybe I could have. Yeah, I think I should have used bougie. You know, but I don't know. It's just basically my brain is just against the idea of Kanye and Kim Kardashian in the office. You know what I mean? I feel like somehow it would be worse than Trump in a way. You know what I mean? Look, I don't follow too much on political things and what Trump's done good and what Trump's done bad. So I try to stay away from trash talking Trump, to be honest with you.
Right.
Because I don't know what kind of political moves he's done that's been beneficial, what haven't been. People don't like him so much. All I get is negative information. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, I know he may not be the best that we've ever had, but there's no way in hell that everything that he's done in office, that he hasn't done one good thing for the U.S. You know what I mean? But come on, bro. It's all negative, though. You know what I mean?
It all depends on.
Never just
it's
all
not.
negatives.
It's not though. It's not though. It all depends on where you get your information from to begin with, right?
It's definitely where I get my information from because it's always Twitter or
I mean, Twitter is a very liberal platform. So pretty much anything on the internet is a very liberal platform. Twitch is very liberal in some cases, unless you start talking about girls, and then they become very conservative.
Right.
But
yeah. it, yeah.
But no, it's just, and I'm not gonna get into it all on this podcast. I do
Yeah.
suggest people just go look into stuff. It doesn't take that long. Like,
Yeah.
watch. There's like, and this is why I don't like current media. I
Mhm.
forgot what it was called, but there used to be a law where, like, as CNN, Fox, and whatever network, there used to
Mhm.
be a law where you have to report on both sides of a story. So you'll have to say why um, killing cows is either animal cruelty or not animal cruelty.
Mhm.
That used to be a
Gotta
law. I
play
forgot
devil's advocate.
when. Well, it's not even playing devil's advocate. It because there was no opinion on it. You just had to report the news.
Just give information.
Just give information and let the people decide what it is. But now
Oh,
that they repealed that law, so you can input your opinion and not even talk about the other side at all. You don't even have to.
damn.
And I'm like, why did we take away that law again? Like,
I mean,
because
let people make up their own minds, right?
because
Instead of like
CNN is
pushing their
like
opinions on them.
CNN is definitely like the if you want to fuel your own bias, you go watch CNN, right? Same thing if
Yeah,
you want to
yeah,
fuel your own bias, you go watch Fox
yeah.
or
I've come to
ABC,
realize.
MSNBC, and all that. But
Yeah.
I've been trying to watch both.
Hmm.
It's gotten to the point where, as far as CNN goes, the moment they start complaining and then inputting their own like feelings into stuff, I leave. And the
Yeah.
moment Fox starts like jerking off whoever they talking about, I leave. I'm like, can y'all
Is that
get
Disney influence?
nah nah well no, Disney doesn't have Fox News. They
Oh, they
own
don't.
Fox, but they left Fox News alone.
Okay.
But
Okay. Did they just look down on Fox and it's like, yeah, we don't want nothing
well,
to do
you
with
know they would lose a
it.
ton of money if they sided with a particular news organization. Cause then,
Oh.
like, Fox is kind of catered to the
Oh.
right, and then CNN is catered to the left. So you're
Oh.
alienating people by doing that.
It's like Disney's right wing.
Yeah, and then they'll lose a ton of money if they came out and like, we support Fox or we support
Oh
CNN.
my god.
They will lose a ton of money.
It doesn't matter. They just make it back up when they got CNN. too.
They won't. I mean, as of right now, it's like what I don't even know how much of the population is like Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even feel like looking that up. But
Yeah. Look, all I'm saying is
yeah.
I don't have all my cards, you know what I mean? And some
Hmm.
yeah, I can't be it just all feels like such bull crap sometimes, man. I
Hmm.
just looking up information on political stuff is gonna be really hard for me. When I fall into it, hopefully I can just fall into it and like keep up with it. But look,
Hmm.
I don't know enough about Trump to be shit talking him as much as everybody else is, and plus
And
everybody else is already doing enough shit talk for like
yeah.
the
And I
rest of
hope
the world.
like I could get you
Yeah,
out of this because you got the same mindset as everybody else. It
yeah.
is not hard to look up information. Everybody,
What's
like, if you think you don't have the time, you have the time to look up something. Like,
what's
starting
what's hard
somewhere.
isn't what's hard isn't looking up the information, right?
Hmm.
What's hard for me is piecing it together and building my own opinions based off of the information that I got it without being like biased towards whatever source that I heard and
Yeah.
they put their opinions in there. That's
Well,
what's hard for me.
here's
I
what you
don't
can
want to
do.
just yeah.
Here's what you can do. Like, and I did this in 2016 when it was Trump versus Hillary.
Hmm.
Um, like, especially we have an election coming up in November.
Hmm.
So, or is it this November or next November? I forget which one. No, it's this November. Um,
Yeah.
um, you go to whatever candidate you wanted to look into. You go to their website, and then they have a list of things like, this is what we promise, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to pass this thing. We're going to pass this thing, and it gives you a description on what those things are. Now,
Okay.
that's the only way you're going to see unbiased information.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you seeing like Trump is going to pass Article 17, and this is what 17 is going to do, this, that, and there's like a ton of that stuff. And then then there's like a Cliff Notes version of like, we promise more jobs, we promise this, we promise this, we promise this.
Here's
But
the thing,
if you
right? This is where like it gets difficult, right? They're like, he's going to pass this law, right? And I look up the law, but what hits me hard is not truly understanding what the ramifications of this will cause. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, this sounds good on paper. You know what I mean? That sounds actually like a good thing. It's going to bring in 400 jobs or somewhat. And then somebody's going to be like, yeah, but that affects this and this. So you get 400 jobs, but then like all the babies over here have no like foster care or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's being able to connect the dots after reading.
In most cases, they say like what they're going to get rid of.
Oh, okay.
Or like what they're going to add to it. I mean, if that's going to be the argument for everybody, I tell y'all, just don't vote then. Just don't fucking vote. Because y'all like, it's like you just going to keep making it up an excuse to not go and vote or not go and make an intelligent vote, I should say.
Yeah. I try. It's weird, but I do my best to just try to use my psychic feelers. But I kind of, it sounds so weird, but yeah, I do my best, right? When it's around election time, I'll watch the candidates. I even hate.
You should be watching them now.
Right. I know.
Not around election time. Watch them now, because like around election time, that's when they're gonna be their best self. Right now, they're like everybody fucking up. The only person I don't think messed up right now is Andrew Yang and Warren. Elizabeth Warren, but like Bernie Sanders said something stupid, and then
isn't there a lady that's gonna like go for president, and she was all like, "I'm Indian," but she was like 1/2000th.
Yeah, that's Elizabeth Warren.
It's like 1/1000. It like
she checked her 23andMe again.
Oh my god,
that's what happened. So it was like,
oh my god,
23andMe has gotten better and stuff. Like, so before, mine used to say like, I am 12% Native American, but it said might be like that Native American might be Mexican. So it was just saying I'm like 12% Mexican. But I recently just looked back at my 23andMe. I am 12% Native American. I am 8% Mexican. I am like 37% Nigerian. Before it just said some West African. Yeah, it just says some West African country. It's like, you came from this region, West African. You came from the West African region. That could be Nigeria. That could be Cape Verde, Ghanaian or Ghanaian. You could be Ghanaian. I think that's how it is. And it is like very broad, but now it's like more narrow. It still doesn't tell you like maybe like what tribe, but it's still 37% like Nigerian.
Some people are like they're more easier to track, so they will have like an exact tribe.
Well, they are trying to get tribes now, and it's not like it's harder to track. They're trying to get like specific tribes and regions. They have the tribes for Papua New Guinea and I think Ghana, but they don't have like Nigerian tribes, because Nigeria is like a big country or city state, whatever. So that's just how that is. But 23andMe's got a little bit more advanced, so it's cool.
Okay, then there's no reason to like flame her for that.
Like I got over that like real quick.
Everybody's been flaming the crap out of it. They're just straight making jokes out of it, and it's almost like it affected her election chances or whatnot. Also, she can't dance worth shit.
She white.
you know, yeah,
I ain't trying to be racist, but a little slightly racist. I'm gonna be like, white people ain't got no rhythm, but I know black people
Oh,
ain't got no rhythm too, and it's a shame.
uh, I don't
They
know.
can't even clap on beat. That's so stupid.
I feel like I fall in between like no rhythm and rhythm. I feel like I gotta be in a certain mood to have rhythm. I feel like my ancestors possess my body when I'm in a great
You
place.
gotta listen to some dumb, stupid music so you can do whatever and then be on rhythm. You gotta
Oh
listen
god,
to
something
some
I gotta
six
listen to
nine.
music with no rhythm to be on rhythm.
Yeah, you gotta listen to 6ix9ine where it's like, okay, I don't hear the beat, I just hear yelling. You can do whatever you want.
I'm unorthodox.
I don't even know
It's
the
my
lyrics to
style.
half of 6ix9ine stuff.
Oh my god, I don't either. But I kind of recently hopped into some of Hobson's older stuff because Tech
Hmm.
Nine came out with like 3 songs or
Oh,
whatnot
cool.
fairly recently. I liked 2 out of those 3 songs, and the other one was just okay to me, and they were pretty dope. You know what I mean?
Ah.
There was one called Outbound, and the other one that I really really like. I cannot remember right now unless I look it up on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm glad Tech9 came out with some music. That's dope.
Right. I don't know how freaking recent it is because Spotify is just telling me that, hey, this is new. You know, so it might not be as new. Yeah, 2024 songs. Leave It on the Floor. It was Outdone and Leave It on the Floor. It's 4 songs.
Hmm.
And then I like the first 2 out of the list.
Okay.
Interfere Level 2. It's actually pretty dope. You know what I mean? The other songs I don't think they necessarily suck, but I really like the storytelling and Leave It on the Floor. And
Yeah.
Outdone was just like, you know what I mean? Like I'm tired of people trying to act like, I ain't nothing big. kind of
Okay.
kind of song. You know what I mean? Like I ain't did
Uh,
songs of so and so and so and so. Like I ain't did all this crap. Like I ain't made millions and sold out
oh.
shows. You know what I mean? It was
Tech
it was it
Nine
was pretty dope.
Tech Nine came out with the album in 2019 called Nina.
Nina, I think I
Yeah.
might have possibly maybe heard
I
it.
haven't listened to Tech Nine in like a minute. Like I have to
Yeah, yeah.
be in a real F my life type of mood to listen to Tech Nine.
Actually, I don't have to be. You know what I mean? Especially
I
if he's storytelling.
I
I
have to
don't have
because
to
I
be.
like that's the
Yeah.
only time like I resonated with Tech Nine music was like
Okay. Okay.
is when I was in that mood. Like
Okay.
because
Okay.
Tech Nine is like catered to that emo type
He
of
is.
audience,
He
and
is.
was it like if you ever listen to ICP, you listen to Tech Nine. I mean,
I
Tech
don't
Nine
know
is
what
way better
ICP
than
is.
ICP, but like you probably have both of them on your playlist at some point.
Yeah. Okay. 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 I can get behind that. Yeah. It's just usually what attracted me to Tech Nine was
Hmm.
his stories, right? So whether they're real or not, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know
Right.
what that man's been through, right? It's
Yeah.
just whenever an artist can like deliver a story that I could be like, oh my God, this guy's ridiculous. Like he'll make me laugh during his story and I'll be like, oh shit, during the story. I'm following the story along, I'm listening to his words, and he's just like eloquently spitting it out. That
Yeah.
attracts me to a rapper,
Well,
right? And
yeah.
in a lot of hip hop artists, I don't see that as much anymore.
Yeah.
So Hobson and Tech Nine, I will still listen to them even if I don't have to be in that mood. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I am, it will amplify that mood.
Yeah.
But I don't have to necessarily be in that state of mind to be able to listen to
Well, the thing is, when I was, especially when KOD came out,
them. Hmm.
I forgot when it came out, but I think I was like a freshman in high
Yeah.
school when KOD came out.
Whoa,
And
KOD from like uh J. Cole? My bad. Sorry, my brain
no,
froze.
Tech Nine. KOD
Okay.
just J. Cole's KOD just came out like 2 years ago. I'm talking about Tech Nine's
Oh, okay.
KOD.
Cool, cool. I was gonna be
The
like, wait,
old
wait, wait, wait. That's what threw me up. I'm like, wait. Like
like
freshman?
no, like Tech Nine's
Yeah,
KOD and then Psychology 101. Like those were
yeah.
really good storytelling, but again, I resonated with it because I was going through like some of those emotions at the time where this is how I
Oh,
feel.
okay. So it's gonna be like a callback for you
Yeah, and I don't
if
want
you
I don't
listen
want to
to
feel
it.
that way, but
You
there's
don't want to
still
be in that state of
some
mind.
Tech Nine songs where I'm like, yo, this still bumps. Like
Yeah,
half the time, I still catch myself reciting Stamina because I taught myself how to recite Stamina and
yeah,
do it fast, if not as like faster or if not fast as him, right?
yeah, yeah.
Because I was like, bro, I'm trying to rap like Twister and Tech Nine. I'm trying to be up there with you, Thomas. I'm stumbling up. I be there, forever be taken away by the demons. I never be what's the word. When I come to the cleverly, nigga, never be so killer from Zilla. I was trying to be that.
I was about that life.
Make sure don't nobody know what I'm saying. I'm too fast. I don't need no beat. I'm fast.
I'm lightning, boy.
It's like,
So long is there not something that I wrote, but I'm lightning.
yeah. And then
But yeah,
Busta Rhymes came out with a verse on, what was it? It was like Busta and Chris Brown, and like Busta had like a super fast verse, and I was like, and I'm hanging up the curtain, like I'm
I'm
hanging
done.
up my coat. I'm done. Hey, I can't do that. I can't go that fast. Busta's just too
Y'all,
fast.
yeah, so y'all got this. But yeah, I really, really missed that style of it. I was listening
Hmm.
to J. Cole's Revenge of the what was it? Dreamville Revenge? Let me look at it. Revenge of the Dreamers 3, right? And
Okay.
it's like director's cut. And he's got a couple people that signed to him, or he
Yeah.
signed to his company. Well, not, I think J. Cole's got his own thing going on now, right? He's signing
Hmm.
artists. There's one or two songs that kind of like it's like new school artists, and they're like going through and making a story, but it still doesn't necessarily hit that spot.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I really, really, really love like storytelling in hip hop, and it's
Yeah.
starting to feel like it's less and less throughout the years now. And that's the only thing that's making me sad about kind of like new age, like you know what I mean? I like
Hmm.
the beats with some of like the newer stuff that's coming out, and they kind of bump. So if all I was doing was dancing and not necessarily listening to the lyrics, I'd be fine. And to be honest with you, with like my disposition, it's hard for me to keep. It's not. It's like it's weird. It's a specific day that my brain is just in a right place to actually listen through the lyrics and understand the gravity and what they mean when the artist is spitting it. There are
Yeah.
days I could try as I must, and I like will not hear a damn thing that the artist. He doesn't even have to be spitting fast. You know what I mean? Like I will be like, I don't understand
I
anything
think
within
I
the
said
last
this.
8 bars that he
Yeah.
said. You know
I
what I mean? He
like.
wasn't even going fast.
Yeah. We got to end the podcast, but I think I said this
Oh yeah,
before. But I'm really into Doja Cat right now.
Doja Cat. You gotta
Yeah.
send me a link. You gotta
Okay.
send me a link. This is the second time that you told me about it, and like last time you spoke about him, I was all like, I want to go watch. I want to listen to this person, but I'm like, then I just
Uh
immediately
huh.
forgot.
But I just typed in Doja Cat on YouTube and this and stuff. But she
Yeah.
like when the first thing I looked up was Doja Cat because she has like this TikTok song called "Say So." "Say So" is a
Mhm.
really good song, right? But
Okay.
well, it's not a TikTok song. It's just got very famous off of TikTok. But
Okay. I got you. I got you. Don't need to
she
explain.
got this really stupid song called "Moo,"
Yeah.
and it's just bitch, I'm a cow, bitch, I'm a cow,
I think
moo.
I've probably heard. I think I've heard that one.
It's like a really stupid song, and then I'm
What
just
does
looking
the
at it.
fox say? That's
It's
what kind of
stupider
reminds
than
me of.
that. It's stupider
Oh
than
God,
that.
you serious?
Moo is way stupider than What Does the Fox Say? Because What Does the Fox Say was at least catchy.
It wasn't to
Moo
me.
Moo was like, when I was listening to Moo, I was like, there's no way this artist is gonna be anything if this is the type of music she make. And then she came out with Juicy with Tyga, and I was like, oh wait, she got talent. Or at
She was
least
just playing
watch
around on
Juicy
this one.
after that. And then Rules was a good one. Like she got good flow. She reminded me of like Nicki, her flow.
Mhm.
Uh except for, you know how Nicki goes like, I'm not even going to recreate, but she does like this screaming rap thing
Mhm.
halfway through her verse,
Yeah.
and then she kind of goes back down to like her normal
Yeah,
female
there's like
rapper.
agitated, like kind of
Yeah,
like
it's
crazy,
weird.
eyes wide open, Nikki, kind of loud, and then there's like calm Nikki, that's kind of like she's like going through her characters, and I think that's
Yeah,
pretty dope.
but like
Yeah,
I find it weird half the time because it's like that kind of took me out of it.
no, it doesn't, because I've Nikki pulled me into her world. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like there's for Nikki, for me, her world is there's like multiple people in there. There's one that's like super disturbed and kind of loud, and then there's another Nikki that kind of comes in. It's like extremely calm right after the loud,
It,
and like what makes it great to me is like the timing of it. You know what I mean? Because right after being all erratic, nobody talks like that. Only somebody disturbed will
and
talk like that,
well,
right?
then to me, it's
So
just like because I already knew like when she came out, she's like, oh yeah, I got split personality. That's why I got like I'm Barbie and then
yeah,
I'm this and then I'm that, and I'm like I don't care. Uh,
yeah.
but
I like it. It's story building
but
for me. You know what I mean?
I
So it
guess.
pulls
But
me into more
anyway,
of the
I
rap.
was listening
Yes.
to because it was her, Normani, and somebody else made
Mhm,
Nick. It was Nicki Normani and somebody else had made a song for the new Birds of Prey movie that's going to come out. And
mhm,
I went through listening to the verses, and then I realized I don't know if like any of her older songs are like this, but when Nicki's verse came up and she did her normal rap thing, and then she started doing her scream rap thing, I was like,
mhm.
"There's no flow when she starts screaming." Like when her
Oh,
monster Nicki comes out, there's no
yeah.
flow, and that's what I meant. Like it takes me out of it.
I'd have to listen. I'd have to listen
I
to it
mean, you
again.
could go listen to. I have to listen to her older stuff to see if that's the case. But in this
Yeah,
particular song, when when
because
she did her verse, I was like, "There's no flow."
I'm pretty sure
Like,
yelling Nikki or screaming Nikki was kind of on Monster. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So there were moments where she's like, it's Nightmare on Elm Street, and guess who's playing Freddy? And I think that verse alone, she was kind of yelling it out.
I mean,
And
but
then
that's
I don't know.
just that. Like, that's just that
Yeah,
little
I don't
bit.
know.
That's like 3 seconds of like, and then you get it. But this was like,
And then she
and
she flips back to calm. Oh, she did the whole thing.
then it's
Is that how women MCs sound to you, you dog?
you know, if I and I dare anybody to define me on this. If I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a rapper. Guess what rapper I am? Everybody, oh yeah, you Nikki, you Nikki.
Well, maybe everybody except me, because I tend to be uncultured swine, so I probably wouldn't pick up. I'm slow on the uptake.
It's like guess the rapper.
I think
I say, who
I would
sounds all
probably be like
cute and then turns into a
DMX.
monster? Oh.
Oh, you get me. I didn't get it there. I'm like, Nikki, because when you sound it all out, like I'll be like, DMX.
Tell me, when does DMX start off like
um, I'd have to go look through his songs.
Soon as the song start, DMX is
I wonder how many people would have
DMX
called him a dog for him to just be like, hey,
DMX
what's wrong with you?
sound like he got a head cold 24/7.
Oh,
Like he got
yes.
laryngitis.
Yes, I agree. All right. On that note, we have been running a podcast for quite
Yeah.
a bit. So,
All right.
outros? Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys love what you hear, especially the last part of it, you can go ahead, follow, subscribe, Twitches, social medias, all in the description box, wherever that is located on any one of these streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? And then we will see you next time.
All
Hopefully.
right. Nice save. Nice save. It looked like you were like stumbling down the road there a little bit, but you made it through.
Wow.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you next podcast. Hopefully, I won't forget to do the clip this time.
Right.